Hi folks, next little update on the R32 is going to be bleeding the brake and clutch fluid. Brake and clutch fluid are shared on the Mk5 R32, so you see I have all my bits and bobs laid out. I have manual brake bleeder. And short story is this connects up to your reservoir in your engine bay, pressurises the system so you don't actually need two people to bleed your brakes. Because it pressurises it, as soon as you crack any of the bleed nipples off, the brake fluid will squirt out, so it makes life much easier. I have good quality road going brake fluid, and you'll see you have 3 litres there good to go, so I've plenty to give it a good flush. And an essential thing for any sort of bleed nipples in a car or flare nut wrenches, you'll see I have a combination of sizes there, plus the close end ones for the bleed nipples. Very much worth doing these over standard spanners. Reduces the risk of rounding the bleed nipples off, especially when they've been on a car for a good wee while. And just a note on the Mk5, if you read the service manuals, they actually bleed the brakes and clutch in a very sort of strange order. It's almost front to back. So you start off with the clutch, do the front left, front right, and go backwards. Different way to do it than most cars, but I presume the service manual and VW know the car better than me, so I'll do what they say. So I'll crack on with that now. Okay, you'll see the first bit of prep to start bleeding the clutch. I have the airbox out of the car, covered over the MAF, so I've only broken the joint there, just to see if any flies or dirt getting in. That there nipple, you'll see I've taken the cover off, is the clutch bleeding nipple, and that's where I'll be bleeding out the fluid from. And obviously the reservoir's over here, so I'll be connecting up the bleeding system to that, pressurising it, cracking the nipple down here, and hopefully all the fluid comes out there, and we'll see what sort of colour it is when it comes out. Hi folks, that is the clutch bled out now. Got plenty of fluid out of it and it's running much cleaner now. There's no sign of air bubbles, but I would say the fluid in there was certainly quite stale. So we'll see if that helps the clutch engagement a wee bit. Just to show you the fluid, that is the fluid there coming out. So you can see it's dark enough. Hopefully that comes out okay on the camera. So glad I changed that. It's a handy wee one-man brake and clutch fluid bottle, handy to store the fluid, but there's a non-return valve down in the bottom as well, so it reduces the risk of getting air back in. And you'll see the setup of the bleed kit. Obviously there's no pressure in it, I was just checking everything was okay there, but most of the VAG stuff doesn't like a high pressure with these things, so I left it at 10 to 15 psi, and you'll see it rigged up down into the reservoir there. All seems to be working absolutely fine. So yeah, on to the front brakes now. That's the setup I have now for the first brake caliper I'm going to bleed. You can see round there I have a spanner in the bleed nipple, the hose connected to the bleed bottle, and down in there, and I have it pressurised now, sitting at about 15 psi, so as soon as I crack the nipple that will bleed out this caliper. Hi folks, you'll see that is the brake fluid coming out of the first caliper. That is the front left caliper. Whether the colour comes out totally well, perfectly well on camera is another matter, but it certainly isn't fresh. Not the worst I've seen, but certainly needed changed. So on to the front right caliper now, and I might actually top up the bleed system as well, make sure there's plenty of brake fluid in it. It's better to use up a little too much than end up running the thing dry and then introducing air bubbles into the system, which causes no end of problems. So yeah, on to the next caliper and we'll see how that goes. Hi folks, that's the next front caliper done, which is the front right, and you can see the fluid there. So on now to the rear left hand caliper. Okay folks, the third caliper is the passenger left, or the rear left I should say, on to the rear right hand caliper now. Hi folks, that is the last caliper blade, which is the rear right hand caliper. So that is that done. Job hopefully complete, and time for a test drive and make sure everything is a-okay that way. Hopefully that wee video or collection of videos has helped somebody bleed their brakes. Any questions or comments, feel free to give me a shout and I'll hopefully try to help. Okay, all the best, bye.